தலமுழுதும் கலியே ஆள்கின்ற நாள் வந்து அளித்தவன் காண்மின் அரங்கர் மௌலி சூழ்கின்ற மாலையை சுடி கொடுத்தவள் தொல்லருளால் வாழ்கின்ற வல்லல் இராமானுஜன் எந்தன் மாநிதியே. This is a Pāsuram from Ramanutandadi. Ramanutandadi is seen as a part of Divya Prabandham. However, it is not composed by the Aivars. You see in the Sri Vaishnava Guru Parampara, there's 9 acharyas. First, that are starting from Periya Perumal. So first see Periya Perumal, then Periya Piratiyar, Vishnu Mahalakshmi. Now first you see Vishwakshena, Swami Nammayvar, one of the Aivars, the main of the Aivars. And afterwards you see Swami Nada Munigal, Viyak Kondar, Manakkal Nambi, Alavandar, Peri Nambi, and then Swami Ramanuja. And then afterwards you see similarly nine acharyas. He's right in the middle of the Guru Parampara. And finally you see Mahamunigal is the last acharya, and for him who's the disciple after that is back to Periya Perumal. Periya Perumal learned the entirety of Edil or Thiruppāvai from Mahamunigal. So you see it as a garland in itself, the Guru Parampara itself. It's very unique to have Perumal learning from somebody from somewhere else in the Guru Parampara. So it's very unique in the sense that Sri Vaishnava Guru Parampara is a garland in itself. Of that, you see Swami Ramanuja right in the middle of this garland as the main acharya. He was known in his time. So upon him, this composition was composed of 108 Pāsurams by Thiruvayangattamudanaar during this time frame, approximately 1,000 years ago. It was sung upon him, and that was also added to the Divya Prabandham composition. It was the only extra addition after the Aivars. The Aivars have 12 Aivars compositions plus Ramanutandadi is what makes up the 4,000 Pāsurams. It's the only exception. And so in that, this Pāsuram comes. In the Ramanutandadi, you see that first what happened was it was composed upon Swami Ramanuja and it was sang in front of him. He was not very happy with it. He ripped it up. He ripped up the text and he did not let the people have the text. The purpose of him ripping up the text was, he said, how is it fit to praise me? I am just a human being. Ayvar himself says, Sonnal Virodhamida Agilum Solluvan Kenmino, Yen Navil in Kavi, in Yavarkum Kudukin, Yen Navil in Kavi, I will not give my poems, in Yavarkum Kudukin, I will not give it to anybody other than the Lord. How is it fit for you guys to write something upon me? So the author Thiruvayangattamudanaar was smart. He realized, okay, he's deciding that to do this because he ripped it up because he doesn't want to be praised. He decided that he will make the first half of the Pāsuram about Perumal or Andal or Aivars or something else, and then the second half of the Pāsuram about Ramanuja. And so all of the Pāsurams you see like that, so he wasn't able to rip it up. He couldn't dispose of it because half of it was about the Lord, so how could he could not touch that. And so that's what Thiruvayangattamudanaar very smartly did. In that, this Pāsuram speaks about how it speaks about Suri Koduttaval Tollarulal Arangar Mauli Surgindra Malagai. So for Swami Sriranganathar, Suri Koduttaval Tollarulal Vargindra Vallal. So she gave her mala to Sriranganathar. We know this is Andal's story. So this Pāsuram talks about Andal's story and how Ramanuja is very close to Andal. He's at her feet, and that's how the story goes. What is the specialty of that here today is that Ramanuja is known as Thiruppāvai Jiyar. Thiruppāvai Jiyar is a title that is given to him. Of all the names of Swami Ramanuja, you see that he's known as Bhashyakar. He's written the Sri Bhashyam, Gita Bhashyam, many different granthas on Vedantic texts. He was a very, very smart Vedantin. He had defeated a lot of Vidwans at that time. So many different schools of thought he had won over. He was a very strong Advaitin, very strong philosopher. Even till today, you see that. Beyond this, he was a good manager. Lots of things that you can accredit him. However, one of the things that he found very close to himself was not that the fact that he had achieved any of this, but rather Thiruppāvai. He was known to be Thiruppāvai Jiyar because every single day, sannyasis cannot cook. Ramanuja was a sannyasi. Sannyasis are not supposed to cook for themselves and eat. They are not supposed to go anywhere near fire. They're not supposed to do yaga. They're not supposed to cook. They're not supposed to go near fire. That's the rule for a sannyasi because in the fire, a lot of things die. And beyond that as well, that is considered a karma. Sannyasis are not supposed to engage in such karmas. And so hence, he is not supposed to cook. So what would the sannyasi do for food? They would go house to house. They would have a couple of houses they know that would that would provide bhiksha for them, and they would go to those houses. That was known as madakaram. They would go to these houses, and they would ask for food. They would know that these people would provide them food, and they would also provide, and that's what they would eat, sannyas. At that time, Swami Ramanuja, usually when you go for madhukaram, you would say something at the same time. If you just show up to somebody's house, usually if you go to some, a nice city or something like Asheville, you see the people that are playing music, they'll have a little box in front of them asking for money. If they just had the box in front of them, we wouldn't give anything. Because they are also playing the flute or whatever musical instrument, we are more motivated to give to them. So similarly, sannyasis at that time also, they would say some positive, not only for their own benefit, not only for getting the food, but also for other people to also hear and think and also get jnana. They would say some sort of prabandham, they would say something while going. Ramanuja could have said Shibasham. He could have chanted Akhila Bhuvana Janmasthema Bhangadi Lile Vinita Vivitha Bhuta Vrata Raksheka Dikshe Shrutisarasi Vidiphe Brahmanish Srinivase Bhavat Mama Parasmin Shemrushi Bhakti Rupa. He has composed such beautiful sutras. Bhagavan Narayana Vimatana Rupa Swarupa Rupa Kunavibhava Ishwarya Chiladyanavadika Dishaya Asankeya Kalyana Gunakanam Padmavanalayam Bhagavatim Shriyam Devim Nithyaya Payinim Niravadhyam Devadeva Divimakshim Akila Jagan Mataram Asman Mataram Ashayanya Shayanya Anandya Shayanaha Shayanamaham Pravate. He's composed so many Sanskrit shlokas, so many Sanskrit works. Beyond that as well, he was known to be such a great Sanskrit scholar. I gave previously that he was able to give 6 different meanings for the word kapyasam. So kapyasam, as we saw, refers to the lotus and how the Lord's eyes are like the lotus. He was able to give 6 different meanings for kapyasam. Before that, people were only giving the meaning of kapyasam equals monkeys behind. So after Ramanuja, he gave all these different meanings. He was such a Sanskrit scholar. He could have gone and said some sort of Sanskrit shloka and gone for Bhiksha Vandanam. He did not do that. He would say Thiruppāvai on a day-to-day basis, and that is what Swami Ramanuja was known for. He would go house to house saying Thiruppāvai because he found Thiruppāvai as the thing that he found more valuable than any of these Sanskrit stotras or Sanskrit shlokas or the Vedas themselves. Why? Thiruppāvai as Vedamanittukkum, with any meaning that you want to look for in the Vedas or in any other text, you will see it here itself. Any of those shlokas, the meanings of those shlokas I just said, I think I already covered them quite clearly in the Pāsurams we already seen. Such is the Vedamanittukkum Vittu of this Thiruppāvai. So in that sense, Ramanuja would go saying Thiruppāvai. Why does that occur? Relevant to today's Pāsuram? Today's Pāsuram, Undu madakaḷitran, is part of the reason he got the name Thiruppāvai. This Pāsuram, when going for Bhiksha Vandanam one time, he's saying these Pāsurams, and at that time he's saying this Pāsuram, and he is in front of his guru's house. That's where he has gone for Bhiksha Vandanam that day for Madhukaram. He goes to his guru's house. His guru's daughter comes out and she opens up the door. At that time, Swami Ramanuja is just finishing up saying this Pāsuram. He believes that he's in the anubhavam of this Pāsuram, and so he faints at that moment itself because of this Pāsuram. Why is that? Why that? We will see at the end. At that time, this daughter of the guru, she's a young girl, she gets scared. The sannyasi has fainted in front of me, in front of our house. It doesn't even have to be a sannyasi. We open up the door and somebody suddenly faints in front of us. We'd be pretty scared. This young girl was scared and she asked her father, "Oh no, he has fainted. What does this mean? I didn't do anything. I'm so sorry." To which her father, he's just sitting on the swing. He's not batting an eye at all. The guru. He asks, was he saying Undu madakaḷitran Pāsuram? And he says, yeah. She was like, yeah. How did you know? Because my guru Alavanda did the exact same thing. He also fainted to this Pāsuram when for this exact same anubhavam. And so we'll see what that anubhavam is, what this Pāsuram is today.
வந்தார் விரலை உமைத்துடன் பெறுவார செந்தாமரை கையால் சீரார் ஒளை உழைப்ப வந்து திரவாய் மகிழ்ந்து எல்லோரும்பாவாய்.
Today's Pāsuram, as we saw, we are looking at the Pāsurams in the context of chess. First, we saw 5 different messages, kind of summarize the entirety of Prapasya Brahmanopam, Prapasya Pratyavatmana, Praptipayan Phalam Prapte Phalam. I've already mentioned those. It is the Perumal who is Brahman, who is the Lord, who are we, Atma. What is the way to achieve the Lord? What is the way to and then what is the goal once we reach the Lord? We've already looked at those things. And then the next 10 Pāsurams, we looked at the Virodhi. That's the last point. He's known as Artha Panchakam. I mentioned it a lot. If you haven't heard, Please go back to the previous recordings. Any recording, I would have mentioned it. These are the 5 points that are known as Artha Panchakam that you are to learn from any text. And so we already looked at in the first 5 pasturams. Andal woke up. So Andal gave us these basic meanings, and afterwards she woke up 10 girls, signifying the different obstacles we face. Now Andal is playing chess with us. First, we saw in the past 5 pasturams, past 10 pasturams, she woke up 10 gopis, known as the 10 Disney princesses. Now we are going to look at the chess board. She's gone to the house of Nanda Gopan. She has woken up the guards. She got through the pawns. She woke up yesterday Nanda Gopa and Yashoda, the bishops. And now today, she's gone to the queen, Nappinne Pirati. So that's what we will see in this pastram. Undu madakaḷitran odada thol valiyan Nanda Gopalan, Undu madakaḷitran odada thol valiyan. He has very strong shoulders. Nanda Gopalan, she refers to Nanda Gopalan as the one with strong shoulders. In reality, Andal is waking up in this pastram, Nappinne Pirati, or Krishna's wife. We'll look into more details about Nappinne Pirati as we look at this. However, in this pastram, why is it that she is, what is the specialty of Undu madakaḷitran? He has the strength of the shoulder strength to defeat even elephants that have Madam Puditha Yane. These elephants, they have the ability to defeat, he has the ability to defeat even the elephant with his strength. Why is that mentioned here? Because Nappinne Pirati got married to Krishna. By Krishna having such elephant-like strength bigger than elephant to be able to defeat the elephant. So she refers to Nanda Gopalan. Nanda Gopalan refers to Krishna's son. Only if we often say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. Nanda Gopalan was able to do this. And so hence Krishna was able to do this. Better yet, Krishna was able to do this, and so hence Nanda Gopan is also able to do this. Nanda Gopan, as we saw, Kurvel Koduntoilan Nanda Gopan, we saw in the first pastram, Kurvel Koduntoilan, before Krishna, Nanda Gopan was a sadhu, he was a pacifist, he couldn't hurt even an ant. Afterwards, he became a full-fledged warrior with Kurvel. That is what you see here as well. In reality, Nanda Gopan, she's referring to Krishna's father. However, in reality, the person with the elephant-like strength is Krishna. madakaḻitran odada thol valiyan Nanda Gopalan Marumagale. Nanda Gopalan Marumagale. Marumagale refers to daughter-in-law. A question, so Andal could have stopped here. Afterwards, Nappinna, she uses the word Nappinna. Just saying Marumagale itself would have been fine. However, looking that this is not Rama avatar and this is Krishna avatar, if I were to say daughter-in-law Rama avatar, very clear answer, it is Sita. If I were to say daughter-in-law in Krishna avatar, which one? 16,008. 16,108. Which one? It's a joke. There's a joke that if you go to Tirupati, and you lose your son there, and then your son's name is Govinda, you're not going to find the son. You say Govinda, 100 people will say Govinda right back to you. It's like that. If you say Marumagale, the entirety of the town will be like, you're calling me? I have no Marumagale. So, and she refers to specifically Nappinai. Come on, Nappinai. Wake up. You are the one that I'm referring to as Marumagale. All of you guys have Marumagale, but I'm referring to Nappinai. Why Nappinai? The question was asked yesterday to me as to why Andal wakes up Nappinai in this pastram as opposed to Rukmini, as opposed to Radha, as opposed to so many others. Nappinai is also known as Satya. But however, why does she wake up Nappinai? Nappinai is known for it's very special. It's very special because she was the daughter of Kumbar. Kumbar was also one of the people of I party. He was also one of the Gopas. What is the specialty of Kumbar? He wanted somebody to come and marry her daughter. So what did he do? He said that whoever marries my daughter has to defeat these 7 Rishabhams, has to defeat these 7 bulls, has to have the strength to be able to defeat these 7 bulls, and thereby can only marry my daughter. Krishna, in this case, Nappinai did not come to Krishna. Krishna went to Kumbar, he defeated these bulls with his Undu madakaḻitran strength, and thereby he married Nappinai. That is why Nappinai is always mentioned by the Arvars as opposed to any of the other wives. The Arvars always mention Nappinai because Nappinai is a product of Paragata Swikaram. In the Shiva Vaishnava tradition, you see 2 types of Swikaram, Swagata Swikaram, Paragata Swikaram. You don't need to know the terminology, but I'll just say it. Swagata Swikaram refers to we go and we fall at the feet of the Lord. Paragata Swikaram means the Lord comes and puts his feet on us. You go to Swami, right now, the Adhyayanotsam is happening in all the temples. 10 days after Vaikunta Ekadasi, you see the Rapathu festival in all the towns. Usually on the 10th day, Swami Nammayar, we will say Swami Nammayar's Prabandhams in these temples during these 10 days. On the last 10th day, they will take Nammayar Vikram for the last 10 Pāsurams. They will say it, they will take it of the 1,000, they will take that and they will put him at the feet of Krishna. However, this is not what I am used to seeing. I've spent most of my time in Arvaithnagari, which is the birthplace of Swami Nammayar. In Arvaithnagari, he does not go and lay at the Lord's feet. Instead, they do Tiruvadi Seva. Usually it's called Tiruvadi Thoral. Tiruvadi Thoral means he will go sit at the Tiruvadi of the Lord. Rather in Arvaithnagari, Tiruvadi Seva will happen. Perumal each day will come to Swami Nammayar, not only on the last day, every single one of these 10 days, Swami Nammayar will have the Lord come from his Mulasthana. The Archakas will pick him up, they will bring the Lord to Nammayar and put him on top of his head, say that day's main Pāsuram, and then they will take the Lord back. That is what you see as Tirumudi Seva. That is what you see even today. You may ask, that's only happening to Swami Nammayar, that's not special for us. If we go to every single temple, we see something that is put upon our own head. The Sri Shatagopam, the Shatari. The Shatari is nothing other than a representative of the Lord's feet. It is to remind us, during Vamana Avataram, he put his feet on every single last one of us. So Paragata Swikaram is what is happening. We may think that there's Swagata Swikaram, we are going falling at his feet. In reality, he's putting his feet upon us, is what is said in this portion. That is why Nappinne is continuously brought up, because he went there, he defeated the Rishabhams, he removed the obstacles known as the Rishabhams or the 7 different bulls, and then he took Nappinne. And so Nappinne is his wife, she refers to Nappinnai. Gandham Kamaram Kurali Kadedravai. So you have very nice smelling hair. Gandham Kamaram Kurali. Why is the hair referred to here? I mentioned previously, hair is a metaphor for Jnanam. If you look at all the ancient Tamil texts, hair is a metaphor for Jnanam. So what does that mean? Knowledge. Gandham Kamaram. If you have a good smelling hair, you have the knowledge of the Lord. You have the good knowledge that he is always going to protect us, is what is shown here by the Gandham Kamaram. She did not, Nappinne did not go and try to achieve Krishna. You see so many others, they wrote letters to Krishna. You see in Krishna's story, come get me, or they would say so many different types of things. They would do some sort of effort for Krishna to come back to them. Nappinne did not do that. She sat there, watched him come, and married her. That's all it was. Nappinne let him come and take her hand, and that is what you see here as well. Nappinne. That is why she has that knowledge that he will come and take care of us. He has that Paragata Swikar. She has that Paragata Swikar knowledge. Gandham Kamaram Kurali Kadedravai Vandengum Kori Araitanagan. Look here, Nappinne, you have to wake up. And now back to the act of waking people up. That's what she's been doing. One of the other reasons is Thiruppāvai is usually chanted as a Nityana Sandhanam. It's chanted on a daily basis in the morning. Usually, if you go any temple, you see in the morning Sathamai, Thiruppāvai is a must, not just during Margari. Thiruppāvai Sathamai will happen every single day in the morning. And so that is why Thiruppāvai is usually kept in the morning, because it's fully waking up people. So Andal is also waking up Nappinne in this portion. Nappinnai Gandham Kamaram Kurali Kadedravai Vandengum Koriyaitanagan. Come on, look here. All the birds are cooing around us. Come on, wake up. Koriyaitanagan. Madhavi Pandal Bel. Algal Queenangal Kuminagan. She says, I think you've told the birds. She's back to argumenting. Nobody wants to wake up in the morning. So she's back to saying that, oh, well, I don't agree with you. I think that you've paid the birds to call you the Koriyaitanagan. You paid them off. That is why they're doing this. So Andal says, no, look outside of your own house. There's Madhavi Pandal. There's the decorations made out of the Madhavi Pushpam. That sort of flower is covering up your house. On that there's Kuilinangal. They are also chirping. Madhavi Pandal Vel, Palgal Kuilinangal Kuinagan. If it was our birds, they would listen to what we say. These are your birds. They're also cooing. Come on, wake up. Madhavi Pandal Vel, Palgal Kuilinangal Kuinagan. Pandal Veliun Maithunan Per Pada. This is what a very special meaning here is. Maithunan Per Pada. Pandal Veli, Maithunan Un Per Pada. She has a ball in her hand. Pandal Veli, Un Maithunan Per Pada. We are come here to sing your Maithunan. Maithunan refers to husband. But there's a traditionally, why does that name Maithunan is used? Maithunan Nampi, Mazhudan Mandanne, Kaitalam Patta Kanakande Torinan. Andal refers to this there as well. What does Maithunan mean? Mithuna. Mithuna means duel, to come and attack. So they are always known to come in a pair. What is this pair that we are talking about? Nappinai or any sort of pirati. Pirati refers to the Lakshmi or any sort of the mother goddess that we refer to. They are a symbolism for the fact of Tiruvilla Tere Nintevu. If we have a god, he can be all powerful. He can be very strong. He can have all these things, all these qualities. However, if he still sees our flaws, if he's thinking that, oh, you've done this, I need to punish you. If he has all of these qualities, I don't think there's any point in that Lord existing. That is what is said by the Alvar. Tiruvilla Tevare, that Deva, that God without Tiru, I don't think there's no point in that sort of Lord. There's no point for that sort of Lord for us. Is what Alvar also says that Tiru. What does Tiru refer to? Tiru is that Lakshmi. That Lakshmi refers to that kripa he has for us. You will go to any Divyadesam, you will see this thing in the Lord's Lakshmi traditionally. If you go to Ayvarthanagi and Navatirupati, down south you will see a lot of Divyadesams don't have a separate Lakshmi Sannadhi. They won't have a separate Sannadhi for Lakshmi. Lot of places, even if you go now today in a lot of homes as well, then the Thiruppāvai Perumal, they will have maybe that Kannan, but they won't really have a Lakshmi separately. However, the Kannan will always have a Vakshasthalam in his heart. What is that Vakshasthalam referred to? Madam, பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பலகோடி பல்லாண்டு வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு. What is that மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு? What does that refer to? He has the Vakshasthalam in his heart, which is where Lakshmi lives, is what we are saying. Malay Magal, what does that refer to? That refers to the kripa he has for us. It is a symbolism for the motherly love he has for us. If he were to just be all powerful, it has no purpose for us. Because he has that kripa for us, we go to him. That is that kripa that is referred to here as Nappinne, Maitunan Perpada. When we are singing about him, we are singing about his gunas in conjunction with his kripa. Any guna that we attribute to him, it has no purpose if it is not paired with kripa. It is when it's paired with kripa, then it becomes beneficial to us. That motherly love that he has towards us, that is what you see Andal is referring to him. Maitunan Perpada. We are going to come and we are going to sing both of you together. Madhavi Pandal Mel Palgal Piranangal Kuvina Pandal really. Why does she refer to as that person that has the ball in her hand? You can see that the ball can refer to the globe as well. The globe is in the ball-like shape. You see three wives of the Lord in Sri Vaikundam. Traditionally, it's mentioned that there's three people. These are all symbolism, as I mentioned, for Neela Pef. They're all regards of the kripa. What is that? Lakshmi. Sri Devi refers to just that kripa. Bhudevi is the next one, Bhumi Pirati. She refers to that kripa he has towards the insentient objects, or the bhumi, or the earth. That sort of kripa that he has. Neela Pirati refers to that sort of kripa that he has beyond that as well to each and every single individual soul. He has that kripa towards individual souls, is what Neela Pirati refers to. It is believed that Nappinne is an avataram of Neela Pirati, which is why she's mentioned here as well. He has individual souls, kripa towards the individual soul is what is seen. My father also used to tell me a story growing up. We would go to Vaikundam. This is a very, it's a metaphorical story, but my dad would say, you would go to Vaikundam. He would say that, oh, I need to, I want to go inside Vaikundam. I want to come to you, Lord. And God will say, oh, you've done so many papams. I will not let you inside. That's all. It's not. He is not saying that. It's within our own minds that we are saying, "Oh, we have done so many sins that we have so much suffering and stuff." He's not kind of counting any papa or punya or anything. He's always wanting to grace us. So we are thinking that we have this sort of sin or we have this sort of hardship in our life. We go to him. What happens? He then first asks Sri Devi. She asks, "What do you think?" She says, "Who has not done a sin? Everybody does sins. Why don't you bring him in?" He says, "This is not an answer I wanted." So then he asks me, Bhumi Pirati, the next Pirati. She says, "Sins, I thought that only exists in Naraka. I didn't know that sins exist on planet Earth. Bhumi, I didn't know sins exist on Bhumi." Next, he's like, "This is even worse. I don't like this answer." Then he asks Neela Pirati. This person's come. She's like, "What is a sin? I don't know what sin is." And so that is what you see of these three Pirati Mars. My father says that these are the state that the three Piratis are in, the three wives are in. And so hence you see that is a symbolism of his love towards us. And that is why Andal refers to the best one of them all, the one that doesn't even see the sin, doesn't even know what it is. Neela Pirati, Nappinna, Maitunan Perpada. She has that kripa. Madhavi Pandal Mel, Palgal Kuinangal Kuvinagan, Pandal, really un Maitunan. She has a globe, she has the entire globe in her hands. She, in one hand, has the globe, in the other hand, she has the Lord. It is bringing us together. What is bringing us with that supreme? It is that kripa that is combining the two of us together, is what is said in this Pāsuram. Maitunan Perbada, Sendamarai Kayyal Siral Valayurippa. Okay, come on. Come open up the door. How you should come open up this. Sendamarai Kayyal, you have a red like hand. What is the red like hand? Red also refers to kripa. Lots of the Ayurvedic metaphors refer right back to kripa or jnanam. It is back to the same two things. Malar magal. Malar refers to kripa because it is the flower. Flower blossoms. Kripa blossoms. Smile. Smile. Blossoming smile. That also refers to kripa. You see, all these examples go right back to that point because that's what the Ayurvedics want to push into our minds. That in any way possible, they want to get it into our mind that he is going to take care of us and he has that kripa, so he will take care of us. So that's why Sendamarai Kayyal, you have that kripa. Come on, open up the door. Siral Valayurippa, you have the valays on your hand. Valayurippa Vandu Thiruppāvai, come open up with the valays. The valays should, the bangles should jingle and you should come open up the door. The question I asked here, why do they mention the bangles? Do they really care for the bangles? The bangles stay on this hand of the person who has not become thin. If you become thin, the bangles will fall off. Usually in traditional Tamil literature, it is seen that when do bangles fall off is when the Nayaki, she's removed from the Nayak, and whenever she is separate from him, she becomes sad and the bangles fall off. Your bangles are still on. You are still with the Lord. You have not become thin and weak because you are still strong, because you are with the Lord. You are always with the Lord. அகலகில்லே நிறையும் என்று அலமேல் மங்கை உரைமால்பா நிகழல் புகழாய் உலகம் மூன்றடையாய் என்னை ஆழ்வானே நிகர் அவனர் முடிக்கணங்கள் விரும்பும் திருவேங்கடத்தானே புகழொன்றில்லாவடியே உன் அடிக்கை அமர்ந்து போகுது. What is அலமேல் மங்கா தாயார்? We refer to her. What does she know? அகலகில்லேன் இறையும் என்று. She is never leaving his heart. அகலகில்லேன். She never leaves his heart. So we don't have to think that at this time the Lord will punish us, at this time he will protect us. Hilain, she's always with him. And so that kripa is always with him is what is said in this Pāsuram. Your valays are always on. Come happily open up the door for us. At this point, Swami Ramanuja is telling this story. The door opens. She sees the daughter of Periyanambi and she thinks that's Nappinne herself opening up the door for her, and he faints. If the Lord is going to open up the door, not only for Swami Ramanuja, but for us as well. So let us think of that kripa that he has for us. And with this, today we will finish this Pāsuram. The queen I refer to, this Pāsuram refers to the queen in the chessboard. Nappinne is the queen. Furthermore, the queen in the chessboard can do every single action that anybody else can do. Any actions are useful only when the queen is there as well. You see, when you're playing chess, once you lose your queen, you often feel that is it for me. I'm not going to win this game. It is a very hard decision to sacrifice your queen. You never sacrifice your queen. You always play with your queen. Similarly, that queen always will stay on the board for us as well, because the king, our king, Sri Krishna tomorrow, he will definitely win the game. So of course, the queen will always stay on the board for us. And so that's why in this chess game, Nappinne refers to the queen for us. With that, we come through today. Undu madakaڵitran ஓடாத தோல்வரியன் நலகோபாலன் மருமகளை நப்பின்னார் கந்தம் கமழும் குழலை கடைதரவாய் வந்தெங்கும் கோழி அழைத்தனகான் மாதவி பந்தர் மேல் பல்கால் குயிலங்கள் கோவினகான் வந்தாள் வேளையும் மைத்துனன் வேர்பாட செந்தாமரை கையால் சீரார் வரவழைப்ப வந்து தரவாய் மகிழ்ந்தேரோரின் பாவாய்.
Swami beautifully explained how three Piratis are there. We have Sri Mahalakshmi, we have Bhudevi, who is Andal. Andal is an avatar of Bhudevi. And then we have Nappinne Pirati, who is the incarnation of Leela Devi. All three of them are there to plead on our behalf. Basically, they are like pleading on our behalf to Perumal. So many people ask, why do we worship Radhika Krishna? Why do we worship Bhuvaraha or Lakshmi Narasimha or Sita Rama? It is because if you go and approach the Supreme Lord directly, he is a Swatantra. Swatantra means he has free will, and his ego is very supreme ego. Our ego is false ego. Okay, we think we are capable, but he is very capable and he has a supreme ego. So in the Ramayana also we see that he went and hugged Guha Perumal. Guha was actually a tribal. He went all the way and hugged him. He accepted whatever he gave, etc. But Bharata, his own brother, he came. He said, Rama, this throne that is being offered to me is like a chair of full of thorns. I cannot even think of sitting in it. We were on sitting on it. I cannot even think. Even that very thought actually, you know, is extremely troubling for me. Okay, so please take it back. He says, no, Bharata, it is our father's wish. In fact, that there is a beautiful argument between Krishna and between Bharata and Rama. If you see, as a layman, if you see, Bharata has all the points, but then Rama says, no, it is not. I do not want to come now. We will come after 14 years. Till then, here are my padikas. Let that be the ruler, and you continue. So this is his swatantra. It is he wanted to go to the forest. We cannot go and change. So this swatantra is what actually is like considered like the salt in the ocean. See, all the source of all water is the ocean, right? Ultimately, where does the rain, where does the clouds pick water from? That water is like the salt water. Our acharyas say, what is that salt? It is his swatantra. It is his free will. And then we have also performed so much of papas. Like there are countless of papas that we are doing, which we will definitely also do. And we, needless to say, in the past lives, we have done so much of papa. So when we go and straight and approach him, he may see our papas. Okay, there are my acharya used to say there are some people who are very patient, but there are some other people, even for such patient people, they will act in such a way that they will kindle their anger. Okay, no, actually, he is referring to us only. Okay, so that is the nature. But always he is with Sri Mahalakshmi. So what is Sri Mahalakshmi is like a divine mother. She will always plead on our behalf, and as Swami rightly said, Sri Devi will say, to who has not done mistake, to err is human, to forgive is divine. But Perumal will say, no, I have this rule book called Shastras. Okay, I cannot be partial to somebody and impartial to somebody else. I have this rule book called Shastras. Based on that, I have to punish him or reward him. I cannot just like that, then he looks back at Bhudevi. Bhudevi will argue, no, what he has done is not Papa at all. You have misunderstood. It is not Papa. It is, he will justify that. In this way, she will justify. Then, he will think, okay, at least Sri Devi accepted that he has performed some Pava. And he is saying me, no, please don't look at it. But this Bhudevi is not even accepting that they have done Papa. Whatever Papas that we do, she will make it appear as if they are punya to him. That is her greatness. How she does it, only she knows. Then finally she will look at Nida Devi. Perumal would say he has done this apachara, he has done this papa, he has quarreled, he has done all these things. Then she will ask, you have been talking about apachara, you are talking about sins. What is the meaning of all these things? I do not even know what it is. So that is her nature. She does not even know what is sin. So Perumal is cornered on all three sides. Finally, he bestows his grace on it. Okay, fine. I have to, we know like you can never win an argument with a wife. Okay, people say. So Perumal is also it's happening for him also. Okay, so he bestows his kripa. After that, the Tayar will find out. She wants to check whether he has really bestowed his kripa out of love or because we forced him and then made him bestow. So she will say, you know what? Initially, I thought he's a good person, but now I'm thinking, I'm reconsidering. Maybe you are right. We should have looked at all his papa and punished him. At that time, Perumal will say, no, he is my son. Whatever he does, I will accept him. Even if he does mistakes, also I will accept him. So then the Tayar will say, yes, this has worked. The strategy has worked. He has accepted him wholeheartedly out of love. So yes, now let's move on. So in this way, they do kripa. In the Ramayana also, it is said that whenever Rama and Sita are together, no killing would have happened. If you look at the entire Ramayana, when he killed Tadaka, that time Rama was alone, along with Vishwa. He was not even married. Okay, when he killed Vali also, Sita was not there. When he killed Ravana also, Sita was not there. So whenever Sita was next to him, he will not kill. Just like a mother will make sure that only the father will only show kripa, and he will not show his all supreme nature, all controlling nature, all authoritative nature, all that, she will make sure that it goes down, and his all compassionate nature, all kind nature, all patient nature, that comes up. So that is the role of our Divine Mother. Whenever we worship, we should always worship the Mother and seek her blessings and then approach the Supreme Lord. So she is called as Purushagara, the one who recommends, and she talks on our behalf, recommends to us, and then she pleads to Krishna. And while doing services also, she will enhance us our services. That is the thing. We do services, we perform lot of abhachara. We unknowingly or knowingly we perform so many things. But she will actually enhance it. She will hide it. She will portray it as if it is a very unique service that you have not received from anybody else, and she will also glorify it. So that is her role. As a Purushadhara, when we are approaching him as a means, she will make sure that she does not look into our papas. When we approach her as the goal, when Krishna is the goal, doing kaikarya, service to him is a goal, she will make sure that she will amplify our service and then show it to Krishna. So that is the importance of today's Pāsuram also. And Swami beautifully explained how it was a favorite Pāsuram of Ramanuja. For Bhagavat Ramanujacharya Swami, the objective was not Krishna. Service to his own Acharya was his thing. So when he says, this Pāsuram and when Napine Pirati is coming and opening the door, he is pleading to his own Acharya, please bestow your mercy on all of us, right? Of course, he is also the Acharya for all of us. So on our behalf, he is blessing, he is asking his Acharya, and the Supreme Lord, who is the Acharya of all Acharya. On our behalf, he is actually pleading. So with that, we will stop today's Pāsuram. Srimade Ramyaja Matru Muni Indraya Mahatmane Srirangavasini Bhuyat Nityasvir Nityamangalam.